You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
What's going on, guys? It is the season premiere of the GRE show. Season premiere, and it's I'm not alone. It's gonna be an interesting season premiere. I have with me back from last week's show. I have RJ from the RJ and the Savage Squad podcast. What's going on, RJ?
Hey, man. I'm good. Just like I said, in chill mode. Just very, very excited to be on the season premiere of the Drew Yari show. You know, it's a big honor.
Yeah, let's try to get those demos, man. It's all about those demos. Am I right?
Yeah, no, right? Yeah, you gotta target the demographic, man. You gotta hit the 1849. You know, it's a big deal.
I mean, because that really matters. Not actually winning the ratings war, but just getting the demos. That's what really matters.
Yeah, no, right? You gotta get those youngins.
According to a certain AEW superstar who calls himself the demo guy, but we don't.
And also
go ahead.
A reputable journalist too. You know,
Mr. Dave Meltzer,
Mr. Melt, the good old Uncle Dave.
5 stars. 5 stars.
Star match.
But we don't say the 3-letter word on this show anymore.
Did you get banned? Did Chris Jericho ban you from that too?
I don't even think Chris Jericho even knows what a Drew Yari is. But let's start a rumor that he actually did do it. Fuck it.
All right.
He's banned Drew Yari from watching AEW. He'll probably look at the tweet and be like, "What the fuck is a Drew Yari?"
It's still like something I hate. Like who is that?
Is that some type of sandwich or what the fuck? But yeah, I mean, if anyone doesn't know, the show for a while was pre-recorded. It used to be live, then I just went to pre-record. My work schedule changed, so I'm off Tuesdays and Wednesdays now. So I just decided, fuck it, let's just go back to being live. And the one change I made to the show is I'm not going to review Dynamite anymore. If any AEW news comes up, if it's something that catches my attention and it's just something that you can't really not talk about, then I'll talk about it. But as far as reviewing the show, I'm kind of wash my hands from it for obvious reasons. I did, however, kind of cave in and watch the La Dinner Debonair from last week, the infamous dinner angle with one Mr. Jericho and MJF. It was kind of one of those things where I had my phone in my hand and I just saw the video pop up on YouTube and I went, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch it. So
yeah, I know.
Watched it and I didn't hate it. I didn't despise it or hate it as much as anyone else did. Not to say I loved it, but it's just, I made the joke, but it's not really a joke personally in my opinion, but it's just AEW is now sports entertainment. That that filthy ugly, those filthy ugly 2 words that that nobody wants to be referred to as that.
Mm-hmm.
Not John Moxley, but Eddie Kingston, calls John Moxley an entertainer. AEW is basically sports entertainment now, because not just that, you have, what is it, Being the Elite, which is supposed to be their own version of comedy. Which I've yet to watch, because I actually like funny things. You have Jericho, who's basically become a comedy wrestler. He's become a comedy wrestler. I mean,
with his last few programs, I don't like. He's been doing a lot of silly stuff in his last few programs.
Yeah, I mean, because
especially this year.
Oh yeah, like in the beginning of AEW, he was on his game. Like he was doing some good shit with the Inner Circle. You know, working with Cody, working with Moxley. Like he was actually serious. I mean, yeah, he would throw in a little comedy jabs here and there, but it's like, yeah, it's just typical Jericho. And then
right.
As soon then he starts working with Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy starts doing the teleportation bit. They have the stadium match, and then he goes with Orange Cassidy. It almost seems like it's behind the music, and then he started working with Orange Cassidy, and that's where it all went wrong. It's just, and you know what? This isn't me just shitting on the AEW fan base, because you know I have friends that like AEW. If you want to like it,
same here.
If you want to like it, more power to you. And I'm not trying to sound condescending or anything, but it's just not for me. I tried giving it a chance. You know, I almost feel like Jim Cornette in the sense where it's like anytime I want to like somebody, they end up doing stupid comedy shit.
Yeah, same. And it's just like I can't look at him anymore. And it's just, and I take AEW just like I take things from WWE. I enjoy certain things on AEW just like I enjoy certain things on WWE, and there's a whole lot that I hate about WWE, and the same thing with AEW too. So, like, I mean, I understand where you're coming from completely, but you know, it's just for me, like I just skim through certain things that I do like, and I will skim through a lot of stuff that I don't like and watch what I do like, and then you know, just let it rock from there. Yeah, it's all about picking and choosing for me, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. And it's just, and there's always that, you know, contradiction of like, oh, well, WWE does the same thing. It's like, WWE is an entertainment company. They made it very clear that they're not a wrestling company. They're sports entertainment. So, not to say that's any better, but
at least you're not disappointed. Don't delude yourself into thinking that this is professional wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you go to Arby's, you expect the food to be crap.
And you expect to go to the bathroom for like 6 hours afterwards, too.
Exactly. Like, you know, in Texas, you know, Whataburger is, you know, king down here. When you go to Whataburger, you expect to have a good burger. You don't expect to eat crap.
Exactly.
So, with AEW, you know, the whole thing was, you know, their whole
sports-based wrestling.
Like, we're going to be serious. We're going to be sports-based. We're going to have stats. We're going to do blah, blah, blah. We're going to do A, B, C, and D. And it's like, yeah, do they do stats anymore?
I think they do, but they don't follow it. But, and it's funny you say this, right? Because we had this conversation in one of my group chats on Instagram, the delegation. Right. And what they were saying is that one guy, Jace, who showed the Bottom Line Wrestling podcast, and he was saying that it's impossible to have a sports-based presentation in wrestling and have it be popular. And I kind of agree with him because what other promotion that promotes nothing but professional wrestling and nothing else?
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. How many people are watching Ring of Honor right now?
Well, I think isn't it like on actually no, I'm wrong, because it comes on here on CW at like really odd times. It comes on in the morning and then it'll come on like late at night. And I think you could watch it on YouTube. But I mean, you have to be like a really hardcore, you know, wrestling fan to, you know, watch Ring of Honor nowadays.
And that's my point. Like that's the closest you're ever gonna get to no nonsense sports presentation type wrestling. You know what I'm saying? With guys, you know, the Code of Honor. And I love Ring of Honor. Well, back in the day, I don't really. They have a lot of guys I'm just not into nowadays, you know, on that roster. And Jay Lethal and Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe have been there forever. And they all need to change the scenery, in my opinion. I get loyalty and I can respect loyalty, but those guys need to go and expand their horizons somewhere else, in my opinion. But besides those guys, there's nobody really there that really keeps my interest. So, you know, I don't watch it anymore. But like I said, that's the only thing we're gonna get as far as like sports based wrestling is Ring of Honor, in my opinion.
So, like, what do you think the problem is with AEW where they can't really stick to it? Like, do you think it's something that the Young Bucks do? Do you think it's something Tony Khan tells them to do? Do you think it's something TNT tells them to do? As far as like, have more entertainment, have more of this this goofy comedy shit around. It's like, am I watching wrestling or am I watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I like Whose Line Is It Anyway, but I don't want to see Wayne Brady out there, giving Canadian destroyers a call of mockery. And anyone that watches, hopefully anyone that watches Whose Line Is It Anyway will get that. But it's just, I mean, you're right. You're right. You're right when you make that point where it's just like America. I think American wrestling fans, they look at wrestling a lot differently because, and I think WWE has almost kind of spoiled them in that way, where it's like they.
Well, I would say a combination of WCW, WWE, and ECW kind of spoiled American fans to having the extra bullshit, having extra tricks, extra gimmicks, etc. To make wrestling work, and I blame all three companies for that.
I would blame WWE a lot more because, back in the day,
because they're still around.
Yeah, because back in the day, it wasn't as hokey. WWE, I think, was the only hokey company going on at the time because, and then this is kind of weird for me to say because I'm, 31. But you look at WCW. WCW was doing more serious, quote unquote, base wrestling stuff. ECW, was very much. You can kind of blame ECW in some aspects because, you see guys like New Jack going out there and doing, crazy, stupid, hardcore shit. See, the Dudley Boys do the same shit. WWE, has and still is, in their minds, we're all about putting smiles on faces. We're all about the kiddos. And for the American wrestling fan, they see that and they go, this seems like the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas,
absolutely,
if you're in Mexico and you watch wrestling, it's very it's almost like a religion.
It is.
In Japan, they treat it like a sport.
And, they do.
And I get it's all about the audience. At the end of the day, it's all about the audience because I forget who said this. I think it was I think it was either Vince Russo or Kevin Nash. Might have been both, but Vince Russo told a story about how he brought his kids to WCW, and they didn't really say who was wrestling, but like there was like a 20-minute match going on, and his kids like immediately fell asleep. And the way Vince Russo put it was, bro, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do the accent. But the way he pulled it off was like segments give more ratings than matches. Wrestling matches don't get big ratings. Like, I don't know if it's been bumped off, but like the last time I checked, the biggest segment in wrestling history was This Is Your Life with Mankind
of course.
Rock, and it was 20. It was almost like a sitcom. It was the duration of a sitcom. It was like 23, 24 minutes, and it wasn't a match. I don't know if anyone in the chat room can find this, but like what wrestling match had the highest ratings? Like, I don't know if you can find one that had the highest ratings. I really don't think you can.
Yeah, I can't really think of one off the top of my head like that. A pure straight up wrestling match. I don't have one for you.
I mean, fuck it, I'm just gonna look it up right now. All right, so what wrestling match has the highest television ratings in history?
According to Bleacher Report, on May 10, 1999, WWE broadcast an episode of Raw that achieved an 8.1 rating,
Yeah,
the show's
that's not
highest
what
ever.
I asked for. Hold on. I think I have it right here. All right, I'm on something called OSWreview.com. Highest rated WWE cable matches on TV. Let's see if I can turn this upside down. All right, here we go. Steve Austin and The Undertaker on an episode of Raw from June 28th, 1999. That drew over 9.5 viewers. Or no, the episode was 9.5, but that match drew over 10,721,000 viewers. The most watched wrestling cable match in history, overrun segment.
Mm.
I remember that match. That was Austin got the title back. So I guess that maybe proves me wrong, but I don't know if that match had superseded not superseded, but got bigger rings than actual segments. So I guess I'll have to look it up later. But let's get into Halloween Havoc that just occurred tonight. Halloween Havoc at the Capitol Wrestling Center. Attendance 0, as usual. Hosted by Shotzi Blackheart. Okay.
Oh man.
John Draper just put this up, and I think you and me have to agree because we've already been saying this. Shotzi has gotten hotter, hasn't she?
Oh man, I've been in love with that girl for years now, but yeah, she's getting hotter and hotter. I don't know if it's the tattoos, the outfits, I don't know what it is. She got that chest piece done sometime last month.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know. I don't know. But me personally, like I told a guy on Twitter not too long ago, I like different looking chicks, man. I don't like your traditional quote unquote pretty girls like that. Like I like girls like her and Rhea Ripley that look different, that have tattoos and different hair colors and different haircuts and stuff like that. I don't know, that's more attractive to me than seeing generic blonde girls like Mandy Rose and Mandy Rose is hot. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's not, but I'd rather see a Shotzi or a Rhea than a Mandy and a Dana Brooke, who I just thinks is just a fucking plastic doll at this point. And those kind of girls like that.
Yeah, she's very attractive. I think it's gonna sound odd. I think what I found more attractive about her is her personality.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
She was like really going all in. No pun intended, but she was really just going, balls to the wall tonight. Like she was like really getting in character. She's out there saying, "Spin the wheel or make a deal." Like I was holy fuck.
She's really hammering it up tonight.
Like she and also it didn't hurt that she looked fucking great tonight. But
especially in that witch outfit. Oh, good lord,
that witch outfit and also that Poison Ivy outfit, which.
Oh yeah, that was good too. But that witch outfit, man, I had a heart attack when I saw that. Because my TV is like on my dresser, so like it's like I'm right there, like watching everything, and it's big. So like I'm seeing this, and I'm not even gonna lie. Sorry to the ladies in the chat room, but I saw a lot of boob.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, good God Almighty, RJ's gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, she. Because I think was it one of the friends of the show, Jeff Littman. He had pointed out she was wearing. I think that witch outfit that was the Elvira costume, right?
She wore that. I think second.
Yeah, I just made the joke. I'm like, she definitely has the right equipment to to fill out that costume, if you know what I mean.
That's right.
And he just put, yeah, she has good vocals. I'm like, yeah, among other things. But anyway.
The great vocals always helps.
Oh yeah, definitely. But let's get into the first match of the night. So we have the NXT North American Championship with Damian Priest, the NXT North American Champion, versus Johnny Gargano. This was the first of two Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal.
Wait a minute, hold on, time out just a minute.
Go ahead.
I know you did not just call this man Johnny Gargano. I thought we agreed this man's name is Johnny Sameface.
Okay, Johnny Sameface. Sorry about that. So let me redo that. 3, 2, 1. So the first match of the night is the North American Championship match between the champion Damian Priest versus Johnny Sameface. In the first of two Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal stipulations, and this fell on a Devil's Playground match, which was basically a Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was probably this was better than their last match. I mean, I know we give Johnny, same face a lot of shit. I mean, you can't really deny that he actually does go out there and work. He doesn't just like phone it in.
Oh yeah, he's a fantastic worker. That's never been a problem. Not for me. It's just that I'm tired of him in NXT. That's my problem.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. Is like, where exactly is he going to go? Because there's no chance in hell he's going to the main roster. He's not going to 205 Live because no one cares about 205 Live. So
they should just go ahead and cancel that show. Honestly.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. I mean, just kind of put him on NXT. Put all the cruiserweights on NXT. Just
let him rock.
Just do that because God knows NXT needs more talent. It almost seems like NXT has like the same 5 people on the show.
That's what I'm saying, and it's getting old too, man. They need to go back to the full formula NXT. They used to like we talked about last week on your show. Used to rotate guys out. Now they just have the same guys on TV every week, and it's just like okay, not my NXT, man.
It's like I like Priest, I like Rhea, I like Io, but it's like we need to mix it up, because I thought that come to think of it, wasn't 205 Live supposed to like dissolve last year?
I thought it was supposed to die last year, but I don't know, man.
I distinctly remember Triple H kind of hinting that 205 Live might end by the end of last year, but I guess maybe that didn't happen because it's like they're not making them any money.
Yeah.
So I don't get why they still keep them around, but
just put Arya Daivari, put all those guys, Brian Kendrick, all those guys work on NXT. It's fine. They should just get rid of the whole cruiserweight division, anyways. Because guess what? All those guys are small on that NXT roster, anyways. If you look me dead in my eye and tell me Johnny Gargano over 205 pounds, I will slap you in the face.
And it's like,
come on, man.
It's like Finn is no bigger.
Exactly. Finn's just in great shape.
Oh man! But
let's not confuse ab with muscle.
It's like if you put the cruiserweight champion and the NXT champion in front of somebody that doesn't watch wrestling, you're going to be like, okay, one of them's the heavyweight champion, the other one is the cruiserweight champion. What's a cruiserweight? Well, the cruiserweight is for like anyone that's under 205, 205 pounds. Oh, so is it the Irish guy? Well, no, he's the heavyweight champion. But he looks like he's 180 something. Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the match. So, I thought the match was, like I was saying, a lot better than their last bout. One thing I gotta say is, I get it. WWE, they need USA needs to pay their advertisers or whatever, but there was a lot of bad segues into commercials. Like,
yeah, it was really bad.
Usually segues happen in like really slow parts of the match, like when someone's already knocked down, or pretty much when someone's just knocked down, pretty much. And then you'll hear Michael Cole, "Oh my God, how's he going to handle this?" And then it just faces the commercial. In this one, anytime something was going to happen, that's when they went to commercial.
Yeah, it definitely felt weird tonight. I noticed that too. When he put Johnny Gargano through the wall, I'm like, what the hell? That would have been a perfect time to show that on camera, don't you think? Like on a full screen.
Yeah, like
and I was just like, yeah, that was just weird.
When Damian Priest brings out the nightstick, they go to commercial. When Johnny Gargano pushes that laundry basket of clothes into him, they go to commercial.
Oh God, I dread those.
Oh yeah, there's no way that couldn't have hurt. I mean, come on. But we'll go to the end of the match. Towards the end of the match, by the way, there was that goofy spot where Gargano opens the coffin, and there's that toy skeleton comes out and he super kicks it, which I'm assuming is going to be a GIF some way, somehow. Anywho.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, Maurice Spears brought up Ghostface. So, towards the end of the match, they're on, like, I guess, like, not the entranceway, but, like, on the side of one of the Halloween decorations. And Priest looks like he's about to go for his finisher. All of a sudden, somebody dressed up as Ghostface attacks him and then gives a tombstone, not the move, but an actual, like, gravestone to Gargano. He hits Priest with it. Priest goes down. Gargano pins him. 1, 2, 3. Gargano is now the first ever 2-time North American champion. Your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, as far as Gargano winning the belt, I don't like the decision. But I mean, I guess I could rock with it. I mean, like I said, Gargano, like I don't feel the heel work, but I never said the guy wasn't a bad worker. And I know he's a guy that's willing to put his body on the line for the title and to make the reign feel something special. So I don't mind that part. And as far as like who's behind the Ghostface Killer mask, because everybody was wanting to know, I'm thinking one or two guys. Either it was Austin Theory, and maybe Johnny Gargano called him up and gave him some words, and Austin Theory decided to come back, or it's Brendan Vink. And I think maybe what they're going to do with the whole indie thing is maybe those two are going to try to learn, quote unquote, learn from Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, and then maybe turn on them in the future. That's what I'm just spitballing, but I mean, it's like a pretty good theory to me. Two of the Australians trying to learn from the Johnny Gargano tree, and later turn on them. I mean, that could be a nice mixed tag feud going forward or something like that for the future. But I don't know. I didn't really like the move all that much because Priest was just cooking and getting started with the title reign, and I hate the fact that it's over already.
So, do you think this is a way to put him on the main roster?
Priest? It could be. Priest, if you ask me, honestly, he's a guy, and look, I know people debate back and forth on Adam Cole because, Cole's small or whatever. But besides Adam Cole, in my opinion, Damian Priest is the most main roster ready guy on that roster.
Yeah, but I think Kevin Castle touched base on it that Priest looks like he's meant for the main roster. Because if you remember Keith Lee, he had the North American title, and then as soon as he won the world title, he just dropped it. Because I think the story is that Keith Lee was always wanting to go to the main roster. He didn't want to stay in NXT too long. Maybe that's the case, for Priest, because when you look at him, he has main roster potential. He does. He actually looks like a grown ass man. He has a deep voice. So I mean, and Antox is saying he was going to move on. He dropped the title in 31. Maybe it was just too soon because, all right. So he won the North American title in August, and then he's only had it for 2 months. So I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to kind of hold him off for a bit, but I don't know.
They kind of give him the belt test. That's what they do at NXT for the most part. They give a guy a belt and see how he looks with it, see what he does with it, and then after that, he usually loses it and moves on to the main roster. Yeah, and I think that's what they wanted to do with Priest. They wanted to see what he looks like with at least one championship for at least a couple of months, see how he looks as champion, and then decide from there whether he's main roster ready.
And you said Austin Theory, which could be interesting because on Wednesday or last Wednesday, Austin Theory quote unquote quit, which which more than likely means he's going to come back and not really repackage himself, not really repackage like his character, but like he's going to do something different. He's going to maybe have a different look. So maybe align himself with Gargano. I don't know. Maybe that'll be interesting, but
yeah, because remember him and Gargano had that hell of a fantastic match a couple of weeks ago, and Gargano gave him kind of the nod after the match. I mean, although the pieces kind of aligned themselves, and then with the Indy Hartwell and Brendan Vink kind of theory or whatever, like she's been trying to get the attention of them for the last couple of weeks, and that's one of the reasons why I thought of Brendan Vink, because he recently changed his name and announced he was coming back to NXT. So I mean, I don't know, maybe that was a way to kind of debut him by fucking over Damian Priest.
Somebody has their oh yeah, Island Guy 3. Turn off your mic or mute your mic, please. Actually, I'll just do it for you. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, we'll touch base on Indy Hartwell when we get to the main event. But yeah, I don't have the times on here for the match. But yeah, Johnny Same Face, aka Johnny Gargano, is the new NXT North American champion. The first two-time North American champion. So, next match, we have Santos Escobar versus Jake Atlas in a non-title match. This seemed like a useless thing to put on the show.
Yeah, this shouldn't have been on the show, honestly. I guarantee you the reason why this was put on the show is because Santos Escobar went to Triple H and he was like, I made this gear. Can I get on the show? And Triple H was like, oh, yeah, go out there and do your thing or whatever. And they probably needed a time break from the whole House of Horrors match. So
yeah,
I guess this was the best they could put on.
I mean, I don't know. I think if they took this match off the show, then it really wouldn't have made a difference. But maybe it was like a thing.
Yeah.
Of, USA Network was like, all right, we're going to give you this much time. We'll let you go over, 9:00, and just do what you want with it. So I don't. Maybe it was a thing where they were like, okay, we need a little bit more time. We need to kill a little bit more time. So I don't know. Maybe that was it. But it's just like, yeah, this match was kind of useless. I mean, it was a squash match basically.
Yeah.
It seemed like Jake Atlas didn't really get any offense in.
No, it didn't.
It just felt like it came and went.
Yeah, it did, honestly.
So, I mean, I always say I like Escobar. I like his look. I mean, he seems like he gets it. He has a good look. Yeah. He can talk. Just for the love of God. He seems
confident.
Oh, yeah. For the love of God, just get him away from Swerve Scott already. But
that feud's done. The feud's done. I think him and Swerve honestly need to move out of the Cruiserweight division, period.
Because
like those are the kind of guys that need to be competing for the North American Championship, in my opinion.
Yeah, because Swerve doesn't look like he's 205.
No, he does not.
Like, how tall is Isaiah Swerve Scott, if anyone?
I have no idea, but he's taller than... He's tall. He's always stood out to me because of, the fact that he's tall and, and lanky.
Well, I need to look this up. Okay. How tall is Isaiah Scott?
Shane Strickland is 6 feet.
He's 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
And he's going for the Cruiserweight title. Like, and not
what's his weight?
Hold on, let me go back to the. Come on. All right. He's 201 pounds.
Damn. He doesn't look it. He doesn't look. He doesn't look. He don't look that thin. I mean, you could obviously he's a smaller guy, but he doesn't look that thin. So
I don't know if you're 6 foot. Like if you're 6'1", you should not be competing for the Cruiserweight title. Just saying.
Yeah, agreed. And he's like I said, it goes back to my point. They give Johnny Gargano the North American title, but this Swerve is bigger than him. Johnny Gargano should be competing in the Cruiserweight division. You know what I'm saying? Tommaso Ciampa, those guys should be competing in the Cruiserweight division, not Swerve and Escobar. Escobar looked like he's a little bit over than 205.
Well, I mean, Ciampa, to his credit, he actually looks like a killer. Like he actually looks like somebody that would legit, beat the shit out of you in a fight.
Yeah, and that's always been my defense of Tommaso Ciampa when people go to on him and shit like that. I said, this guy looks like he can kill you. He looks like one of those guys from a Lifetime movie,
I mean, yeah, he also kind of does look like an old school, territory wrestler. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, this match just, didn't really need to happen. I guess it was just for filler.
Yeah, it laid an egg.
So,
not good.
Let's get to, probably the most entertaining segment of the night. Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes in a haunted house of terror.
Yeah.
You can't really call it a match, but it begins with Cameron Grimes is he's afraid of Dexter Lumis. He doesn't want to He doesn't want to fight him. And I thought it was kind of funny. William Regal was kind of like doing the creepy British thing. He's like, "Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go." I thought that was kind of funny. I love William Regal. And Grimes gets to what looks like a van, or it basically is a van. And you see none other than Michael Hayes come out, blasting Bad Street USA. And he gets into the van and drops him off in the haunted house. And the best way to describe it is it goes from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. What did you think? What did you think about the whole segment?
Well, I will say this: Cameron Grimes was entertaining here.
Yeah.
If there was a guy to put in this match, it would have been him. Because we find him annoying and stuff like that, but like this was kind of it was made for him. Like him and Loomis, that their dynamic works for this type of matchup that they was going for here in this segment.
Right.
And I enjoyed it, and especially he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and get grimy with this chick in the shower and whatnot. And
dude,
it turned out to be a zombie. I was like, yo.
For a second, I honestly thought that was gonna be Loomis in a wig.
I was thinking either that or it was going to be some weird cameo from a legend or something. But
oh man, it would have been even more dope if that was Shotzi. Like if Shotzi just appears in the segment somehow. But
yeah, I know, right?
I like the horror feel because you watch it, it's like it when you look back on the other horror segments that they did, like the swamp segment and the haunted house of horrors match with Bray and Orton. It's like this did it better because it played up to the cheese and knew what it was trying to do, whereas the other matches were trying to be serious.
Yeah,
like there's a way you can be cheesy and still be successful. Like if you're trying to be serious and you just end up being cheesy, it doesn't work. But if your whole goal is to be cheesy and you hit it out of the park, it works. And this is the goal. It was, it's Halloween Havoc. And the goal was, this is a haunted house and we're going to play up to the 1980s, B horror movie. And like you said, Cameron Grimes, he's annoying and this worked for him. Because he's playing the quintessential, victim in a horror movie where he's like, oh my god, like he's just screaming and just like, oh my god, like what the hell is that? What the hell is that? And like it's just, and then Dexter made it work. Everything else is good. Like I enjoyed the segment very much. It was fun to watch. It was dumb, but in a good way. Like it was
good. It was good campy.
It was dumb and just ridiculous, but in the best possible way.
Yeah, and it fit the whole aura of the show. It didn't feel out of place or anything like that. Right in with the Halloween Havoc theme of the show. So I have no problems or complaints with it whatsoever. And like I said, it was entertaining, and I thought that everybody did their part well in this. So no complaints here from me.
Do you think they should have finished it in the house instead of finishing it in the ring?
Yeah, I think they should have. Or at least somewhere like outside or something like that. Maybe in a graveyard or something like that. I just somewhere outside of the actual arena would have been all right with me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that I don't know. I guess that's really my only pet peeve. Is Cameron conveniently is able to get out of the house and run all the way back to the arena. But yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the segment. You can't really call it a match. It's just it was a segment. It was what you got to call a spade a spade. It was a cinematic movie. It was a movie, pretty much. So, where do you kind of go here with both characters? Like, what do you do with Loomis and I mean, we don't really care about him, but what do you do with Cameron Grimes from here?
I don't know, man. I thought I thought Loomis would have been shoo-in, or not Loomis, but Grimes would have been shoo-in to go after the North American title. But now that Priest lost it, then I don't know where they go with him, honestly. And Dexter Loomis, I have no answer. I don't know where either one of these guys go from here, honestly. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no idea, no theories, nothing. Like, I'm actually pretty lost for a change.
Yeah, I think this works better for Loomis doing these cinematic matches because what I've always said was that Loomis as a wrestler I like, but the character doesn't fit the wrestler because his whole gimmick is that he's supposed to be, he's supposed to be a serial killer. He's supposed to be this creepy serial killer. But yeah, he's out there doing bumps. He's out there doing bulldogs. He's out there, doing
Swan Toms.
Yeah, and selling for people. I'm like, this doesn't look. It doesn't match, And I think the smarter thing to have done with Loomis would have been to try to get the character over more rather than get the wrestler over.
Yeah, but I think the theory behind that is that they wanted to fit him in with the rest of the main competitors on there, so that people can know that this guy can work. So I think that's what it was more than anything. But now I agree with you. Get the character over because not everybody. I always say this all the time. Not everybody has to be a great wrestler, but if you bring something to the table, that's fine. This guy brings great character work, and I mean, he brings that to the table. So, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
not everybody has to be a great technical wrestler.
Yeah, it's like
technical wrestler.
Yeah, it's like I guess like a double-edged sword because the business is so different, the fans are so different because nowadays everyone is expected to go out there and put on a 5-star match and do A, B, C, and D. So it's damn near difficult. It's difficult as hell to try and get a character over. Whereas back in the day, a guy like, I equate that to The Undertaker. The Undertaker, when he first came in with the gimmick, the first thing you want to do is try to get the gimmick over. Mm-hmm. And then eventually, once the gimmick got over, that's when he started getting his matches over. And that's when he started working, more with guys like Bret Hart, which, funny enough, Bret Hart told kind of the same story, which was, when they put him in a feud with Taker, he's like, I don't know if I can work that kind of, Frankenstein, monster match. And then when he actually talked to Taker, Taker was like, I'm pretty stoked that I get to work with you because now people get to see how good of a wrestler I am. And so, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I kind of wish they got the character over more for Loomis, but yeah, I mean, they want to see if he can hang. And obviously he can hang. He's a good wrestler, but I don't know, it's just the gimmick and the style don't fit, in my opinion.
Yeah. Because when you think of serial killer, you don't think of somebody that's going to be doing flips and tricks and shit like Dexter Loomis does. He's a great athlete,
Like it doesn't look like somebody's stepdad from Brazzers.
Oh man. Oh god. He does kind of look like that guy. What's that guy's name? I keep on seeing all over my damn timeline. The goddamn, he's a porn star with the goddamn mustache. He kind of does look like Dexter Loomis a little bit. Oh god, that fucking Mr. Noodle style mustache.
You mean Johnny Sins?
No, not him. Well, he kind of does look like him if Loomis had a bald head. There's another guy that's got.
I know. I think I know who you're talking about.
There's another guy with like same kind of hair like Dexter Loomis, and he's got the mustache too going on.
Yeah, I think I know who it is, but I don't know. Yeah, let's fuck wrestling. Let's talk about our male porn stars. So,
yeah, I know, right? Ron Jeremy's the greatest of all time, right?
Oh, fuck Ron. Fuck Ron. He got me too. So he's kind of.
Oh, he did. Oh, yeah, that's right. He did get canceled.
Yeah, he got canceled.
God damn it, Ron.
I don't think it was me.
He had a good run. Like, well, why would you need to rape anybody anymore, man? Ron Jeremy's probably bust enough times to populate like 3 planets, bro. Why would you need to rape somebody? Come on, bro. Good lord.
Man, but Yeah, this match. I mean, again, it's not a match; it was a segment, but I guess we're missing another segment. Oh yeah, so I guess before we get to the last two matches, so one of the segments, I don't know, I forgot if this happened before or after. So you had Pat McAfee come out with Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. He comes out and cuts a really good heel promo, and just says after my match at Takeover, my first ever match in a wrestling ring, I had the best match on the card, and Adam Cole didn't shake my hand and say good job, blah blah blah. So I went on my way to fuck with him. I paid what was his name? Ridge Holland. I gave Ridge Holland a car to go attack Adam Cole, and Ridge Holland got hurt, so I decided to recruit these two guys, A, B, C, and D. Typical heel promo, but it was a good heel promo. It worked because McAfee made it work because he seems to get it. He's a natural. For somebody that's never been that's only had one match, he gets it. He knows how to incite a crowd. So,
Rip Rogers, man, how could you not?
Rip Rogers, there you go. He trained some of the greats, and so Kyle O'Reilly comes out, and then Pete Dunne makes his return to NXT. Haven't seen Pete Dunne in a while, and they both have two steel chairs, and then Pete Dunne, while not Adam Cole, but while Kyle O'Reilly is not looking, Pete Dunne attacks Kyle O'Reilly with a steel chair, joining up with Team McAfee. So I guess, well, not I guess, but that completes what is going to look like the War Games match at NXT War Games, NXT Takeover War Games this November. Which originally it looked like it should have been Ridge Holland, but Ridge Holland ended up getting hurt, so he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
So overall, what do you think about this segment?
Well, and I agree. Pat McAfee feels like a natural. You know what? The thing about Pat McAfee's promos that I like the most is that he's not stoic. He's not sitting there, not having any type of emotion. He's there bouncing around. If I was in Pat McAfee's spot, I'd be doing exactly what he was doing. I'd be bouncing around and making faces and being a shitty douchebag heel because that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? And so I thought that was great and a nice callback to NXT Takeover. What was it, New Orleans? Yeah, where Roddy Strong turned on Pete Dunne out of nowhere. And so I guess that's maybe Pete Dunne's motivation here. Get back at the Undisputed Era. It would have been much sweeter if it was Roddy. That would have been a whole lot more sweeter of a callback, but it was a callback nonetheless. And Pete Dunne looks great, by the way. I don't know what the hell he's been doing since they shut down, everything in the UK, but he looks fantastic.
So, with him coming back, do you see a lot more, guys that were stuck overseas coming back, like Walter, for example?
Yeah. Nah, I don't expect to see Walter coming back and forth. But I do expect to see the grizzled young veterans, James Drake and Zach Gibson. I expect to see those guys back soon in NXT. Because remember, they was getting ready to push him before, the whole lockdown and everything. And Tyler Bate, who's been missing, I expect to see him back soon as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would want to see these guys back, because I think that's kind of is what's, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier about NXT, it seems like it's the same five people. And I guess in NXT's case, they can't really help it because, COVID. COVID with these travel restrictions, before you saw more guys on the show. You saw Walter on the show. You saw, the rest of Imperium on the show. You saw the grizzled young vets. You saw, people like not Kylie Ray, but who's the women's champion in NXT?
Kaylee Ray.
Kaylee Ray, there you go.
I forget her name sometimes too, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah. So, hopefully, with the travel restrictions, maybe being a little bit more lenient, you'll see more people return. Yeah,
I was legit surprised to see Pete tonight. I was like, whoa, what the hell? When his music came, I was like, what the hell? Ain't no way. Because he was just on NXT UK not too long ago. Refereeing the match. He had a match with him. It was him and Dragunov going against Walter and what's the guy's name? The Hatchet Man, Alexander Wolf. Yeah, they had a tag match. It was pretty damn good too, by the way. I would advise anybody to go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah. So I was legit shocked to see him tonight. But it was a good surprise. I'm a fan of Pete Dunne. I know a lot of people ain't too crazy about him because he's small and he's got a rugged look. But I don't know, man. It's just that Pete Dunne just brings that no nonsense factor to the table, and it's something different. But I enjoy it from him because I can believe that he's that nonchalant douchebag in real life that he doesn't give a shit about anything, man.
Yeah, I mean isn't that Europe in general? Don't blame.
Just bitter dudes.
I mean, yeah. I'm not trashing anyone from Europe, by the way. I want to get my European demo going. Anyways, but yeah, this is more than likely going to be the big War Games match. So we should be getting an announcement more than likely next week or the week after.
God damn, they should just go ahead and change the name of the damn pay-per-view to NXT War Games Future in the Undisputed Era, because Lord knows they've been in all of them.
Yeah, they kind of have. That's kind of their shtick now. You know where?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. War Games Future in that Undisputed Era.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, Undisputed Era are officially baby faces now. Which, I mean, you kind of had to, because, I mean...
Yeah, it'd be goofy to have Bobby and Roddy be heels while Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole over here baby facing it up. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, everybody likes him. Like, it's like with Adam Cole. Adam Cole is like this like super nice guy in real life, and he's on TV being a dick. It's like, dude, we just saw you in a video doing the Adam Cole baby with 2 kids in the street of New York. So it's like, you're not a dick. Come on, you're a nice guy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same thing. Like him and I kind of made the joke about him and Britt Baker. It's like they seem like that really nice couple that if they found out that one of your relatives passed away, they'd be over at your house with like banana bread, and they'd be consoling you for the rest of the day. Like they just seem like they're too nice. Like they're so nice, it's almost annoying.
Yeah,
but, and
I definitely feel you.
Everybody likes Kyle O'Reilly, but everybody likes those guys. So it's like you kind of have to turn them face, and you know, because you know they have a cool entrance and they're all great in the ring. So at this point, you kind of have to make them faces. And and you know the whole consensus, you know, Pat McAfee, you know, he's an ex-football player, and we're supposed to hate him because he's an outsider.
Yeah,
so,
right, and it works because he can play the part.
Oh yeah, he definitely plays the part. But moving on, 4th match on the card, you had Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez in a singles match. Mm-hmm. And to my knowledge, is Raquel Gonzalez like maybe not her first singles match, but like the first one I've seen, the first like big one on a takeover.
The first big one. Mm-hmm.
And she was surprisingly very good.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I was getting ready to write this match off, to be quite honest with you. I was like, man, I don't know, maybe I should play Avengers or something, but now I'm kind of glad I didn't, I'm really glad I didn't, because, yeah, this was a good chick house fight, man. 2 big girls, like, it's not quite often we get 2 big girls in WWE that match up with each other and have a match, and I thought this was pretty good. And let's also mention the fact that Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez are really good friends in real life. I mean, they have matching tattoos, and they used to team up with each other on the house show circuit down in this area, like a couple of years ago. So, like, I mean, definitely Rhea Ripley was leading Raquel to a good match here, and it showed.
Yeah, because like to my knowledge, there wasn't a lot of like, if anyone can like point out to me, there wasn't any like sloppiness. Like usually in like a big girl or big guy match, there's a lot of like botched spots or sloppiness. Not one. And Raquel Gonzalez, she's been in NXT for 5 years, and maybe there was a reason for that, and it showed, because maybe she needed that time to really get better. Maybe she personally asked to get better. I don't know, but she it was a good match, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of these two wrestle. I had thought like I wonder why this doesn't have a stipulation, but I guess I realized why, because this was Raquel's like first big match. So in her first big match, you're not going to automatically put a stipulation, because that could also kind of, I don't know about hurt her, but it'll make people think, oh, so she needs a gimmick because we're not sure of her.
She's green, so we got to cover up her green with gimmicks.
So, yeah, she did a great job in this, and I wouldn't mind seeing another match, with a stipulation. I wouldn't mind seeing another steel cage match, that Rhea had with Mercedes Martinez, or a street fight. So, yeah, these two did a great job. I mean, there's really nothing else I can say to put this match over. It was surprisingly very good. Yeah, what were your overall thoughts?
Like I said, good hoss fight. Chick hoss fight. And Raquel, like I said, Rhea carried Raquel to something nice here. And Raquel looked good. She held her own, man. Like you said, no sloppiness. Not that I didn't catch anything. So yeah, no, definitely. They definitely had a nice match. And as far as like seeing it again, I won't mind seeing it again. If they watch the tape here and pretty much kind of, make sure they don't make any, mistakes or, botch it up, keep it clean just like they did in this match. And I wouldn't mind seeing another one between the two. And I think it kind of helps sometimes working with one of your best friends kind of helps out a lot, because you're more determined. That's what I said about Sasha and Bayley. We know damn well they're really close in real life, and they want to go out there and put on the best performance possible. And sometimes when you're best friends, you really want to go out there and do that. So I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So we get to the main event, which is Io Shirai defending the women's championship against Grandma Sameface, aka Candice LeRae, and what ended up being a tables, ladders, and scares. I guess they were listening to the show, because my wish got granted.
Yeah, right.
Which, tables, ladders, and obviously, there were chairs involved, but there were also some scares. Which the only scare was Candice dumping a bag of human body parts, or fake human body parts. But anyways, I guess. But I was surprised this was the main event. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because okay, so yeah, we'll get to the the end of the match. But I thought the match was good. It seemed not really a squash match, but Io was really getting a lot of offense in, and Candice was just out there to literally just get her ass beat. Am I wrong? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, when you kind of go back, when you think about it again, because the only offense that I really seen against Io Shirai was with weapons, with ladders, when she ran her knees into the ladder, and then it fell on top of her, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. The objects was getting all the offense on Io Shirai, not Candice.
Yeah, there are spots, with steel chairs and everything, but overall, it was kind of like it wasn't a bad match. It was a little bit better than the last match, but it was what it was. It wasn't that great. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just okay.
Yeah, it was just meh.
Io walking to the ring with Poppy, which I thought was pretty cool.
I love Poppy.
I literally couldn't hear anything that Poppy was saying. Was her mic muted, or what happened to her mic? Because I couldn't hear anything that she said.
I couldn't hear shit either. I was just excited to see her.
I just heard Poppy. What? But I mean, it was good to see her there. But
yeah, good to see her too. Like I said, love Poppy.
I was worried, and what I was worried about was Io has this really cool entrance. Is she gonna fucking lose?
Like Damian Priest, who had a pretty choppy but nice entrance too earlier in the night.
And I forgot to mention earlier, Damian Priest paid homage to Sting, which I thought was pretty cool. But
yeah, it was very cool.
I'm watching this. I'm like, is Io gonna fucking lose? I hope to God she doesn't fucking lose. And then later in the match, the ghost face comes out, and here's my theory: is I think there are two ghost faces.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the first match, it was obviously a guy. It had to be a guy,
and he's in great shape too. By the way, the guy.
More than I think it is Austin Theory.
And that's why I thought it was either Austin Theory or Brendan Vink.
Probably.
Because whoever it is has, big chest.
Or not but in this match, it was more than likely a girl, and it had to be Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
Since, her whole gimmick is now helping out the Garganos.
Yeah, right.
And it looked like, for a second, it's like, okay, this is how she's going to lose. But then Io, ends up, giving her a Michinoku driver and takes her out. So I'm like, okay, so that's either the same person or that's a guy. Because if that was Indy Hartwell the whole night, like, does she really have enough strength to really actually hit Priest and make it look believable? I mean, because Indy Hartwell, she's a big girl. Like she looks like a big girl.
She's bigger than the rest of the girls. Yeah,
she's bigger than most of the guys too. But
right.
So I don't know. Like my whole theory is that it's either two people, or maybe it's the same person.
I couldn't get a good look at the second time the Ghostface Killer appeared, so I wasn't really able to really, analyze it really good or look at the body, but I don't know, because it just happened real quick, whereas when the Ghostface Killer appeared the first time, like, he was standing right behind Johnny Gargano for a long period of time, and the camera was dead on him, whereas here, the action was happening too fast to really get a good look at the person standing still, so...
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll find out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Io ends up winning. She throws Candice off a ladder, and Candice took a pretty gnarly bump.
Oh, that's the story of Candice LeRae's life right there.
Oh yeah, she. I guess this match worked better for her because Candice in the Indies, she would work a lot of intergender matches and take pretty sick bumps. But
Candice is one tough ass cookie, man.
I gotta give credit where credit is due. Like she really sold out there. Like she really worked her ass off out there.
Exactly.
Io winning. Io is still the women's champion. Overall, highlights and lowlights of the night.
Highlights. I would say the women's match for me was a highlight. Also the House of Horrors match of the Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez. It really turned out to be a pretty good match. It exceeded my obvious expectations because I was getting ready to play a video game during it. So that should tell you everything you need to know. And the fact that I didn't and watch the match, like it tells you everything you need to know. And low light, just Johnny Gargano beating Damian Priest with a belt. Like I just felt wrong. But if Damian Priest goes to the main roster and he becomes a big hit wherever he goes, like I'm cool with that because I like the guy and I want him to succeed. He's got to go make that money because Damian Priest, if I'm not mistaken, my man's knocking on 40 if he's not already 40, right? I think he's like 38 years old. So yeah, he's got to go make that main roster money while he still can. So yeah, man, like if it's for that reason, then I can understand it. But yeah, that just kind of, I was like, what? Like, tell me they didn't just do that. Like, they really had Johnny Gargano pen Damian Priest, man. But, yeah, I guess we'll find out the method behind all that madness at a later date and time.
Highlights and lowlights for me. Highlights, the women's match, I agree with you. Gonzalez and Ripley. I was very surprised. I was in a good way. I was
yeah, definitely.
I was very much surprised in a good way. I was happy. It was a great match. I wouldn't mind. I want to see another match of those two. And the Haunted House of Terror match. For different reasons. It wasn't a match. It was just a segment. It was goofy and it was just ridiculous, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, exactly.
The low
like I said, it fit the gimmick of the night, so no complaints.
And we came out entertained. At the end of the day, that's what matters. That's what
exactly.
That was the point of the match, was to entertain. And the lowlights, Escobar and Atlas, it was just. I guess I understand why they had to put it on the card, but you could have easily taken the time for that match and probably given it to another match. You probably could have given it to Gonzalez and Ripley.
Yeah.
Or maybe added more time to the Haunted House match to see more goofiness, but yeah. But overall, I give the show I give it an 8 out of 10. Actually, 8.5 out of 10. I was entertained from beginning to end. I didn't find myself nodding off. I didn't get bored. A lot of the matches I enjoyed. What grade would you give this show?
Yeah, 8 out of 10 as well. Like I said, well, like you said, I found myself to be very energetic. My eyes was locked on it. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was actually fading away from NXT. I was fading away watching it. The Tony Storm's entrance popped up, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm awake now. But besides that, that whole fact, like, the last couple of weeks of NXT kind of been putting me, been giving me a little drowsy eye a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. But this week was definitely energetic. The energy was there. The whole aesthetic of the show helped out a whole lot as well. Yeah, like, all kind of the matches, it was definitely fun. It was a fun watch. It was a fun watch tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. You can't really expect every single NXT show to really have this energy, but
yeah, of course not.
NXT really just, hopefully with the return of someone like Tony Storm and Pete Dunne, and hopefully down the line you get Walter back, or some newer names, some newer blood. NXT, just. It's missing something. It's one of those things where it's just like, I made the joke last week where it's like NXT is like doing homework and AEW is like going to detention. Both aren't fun, but one sounds less bad than the other.
Yeah, right.
So, and NXT doesn't do anything insulting. I mean, they'll have like the goofy comedy shtick. Antox, we're not reviewing AEW. I'm not sure if you missed the intro or from last week. I am no longer reviewing AEW for schedule reasons and also for personal reasons. So, anyways, but yeah, NXT it needs something. It needs something to kind of liven up the mood, because it's not, I guess the best way to describe it is it's a show without a pulse.
Yeah, it needs a shot in the arm.
Like it has the talent, but going back to what I was saying earlier, it almost seems like you're watching the same thing every week. You're watching the same 5 people.
And that's totally against the original NXT format. Like we talked about last week, And that they need to get back to that aspect of things. Even last year, they were still rotating talent out week by week, but now they're just putting the same guys on every week, same girls on every week, and it's like Raw and SmackDown. You get sick and tired of them. Like, show me something different. Rotate some guys out and girls out, man. Like, it's all right. Not everybody needs to be on every week. Like make these people feel fresh whenever we do see them again. Like, they gotta get back to that. That's why NXT, I'm just looking at NXT UK for the last, 3 weeks has been refreshing, because I'll see Volta do a backstage segment or whatever. He's not on camera. But then fast forward, to the tag match he had the week before last, and then last week with the contract signing, like, everything surrounding him and Dragunov's program felt fresh because they weren't constantly in front of the camera during the whole duration of the build. They were cutting backstage promos on each other and stuff like that, and it felt fresh. So when they finally met in the tag team match, and he pinned Walter like it was a big deal, and then when Walter beat his ass last week in the contract signing for the most part, like it felt big, And you're like, damn, like I can't wait to see this goddamn match tomorrow. So I don't know, but they need to go back to that formula.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it happens rather sooner than later because again,
yeah, me too.
Before we get to Hell in a Cell, it gets to the point where you're watching it, where I watch it sometimes and I get bored. Like there are literally times where I actually fall asleep, or I'll just be on my phone just looking at Twitter or Facebook or whatever. But
same.
We'll get to Hell in a Cell and then we'll call it a night.
Right.
Hell in a Cell was this past Sunday at the Amway Center. 0 attendance as usual, and we started off the pre-show. R-Truth defeated Drew Gulak to retain the 24/7 championship. I kind of blanked on that.
I think I was making me and my brother plates at that point in time. I didn't care to see that at all.
Yeah, it was what you thought it was going to be. It was 5 minutes, 25 seconds, just a pre-show. And
I like R-Truth and everything like that. R-Truth is entertaining and everything like that, but the whole 24/7 title, him, being the main guy to hold it, he'll be synonymous with that championship, but like it's an old, tired, song and dance already. Like, I don't care to see it at this point. And Gulak, I like Gulak, but, it's clear that, unless Daniel Bryan is not pushing for him, he ain't getting no type of push, so it is what it is.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the first match on the main show. What surprisingly is the first match of the night is Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, defending the Universal title against Jey Uso in a Hell in a Cell I Quit match. Match ended up being 29 minutes and 20 seconds. Great storytelling. This continues to be the best overall storyline in the company. And Roman just week by week is just exuding just the really asshole scumbag heel shtick. He just continues. The best part about it is that he's doing it organically and not just automatically going into it, because like he automatically started the heel run, with Paul Heyman, but it didn't become a heel thing. He just came out and said, "Hey, listen, Paul takes care of my business. I just do what I do."
Exactly.
It's just a business deal. And then slowly he just became a heel.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking out his family is a good thing. In the match, Jay is, they didn't try to make him look too strong against Roman. Like, they gave him his offense. They did the whole, well, he has a fighting chance. He's fighting back. He doesn't give up. And, Roman is just beating the ever-living shit out of him. It was good. It was good storytelling because Roman is just proceeding to just bash his brains in, with steel steps. And, he's telling the ref, just please tell him to quit. And he looks like he's genuinely just like, can you just please quit? Because I don't want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing what I have to be the champion, to keep bread on the table. But I don't want to keep doing this. I'll do it if I have to, but I don't want to. And it's just good storytelling. And what's it called? Jimmy gets in the ring, like last time, and telling Roman, stop. Just what are you doing? And then Roman just breaks down for a bit and just starts crying. All of it being a ruse to get Jimmy in the ring to make him tap, or as a way to get Jay to say I quit. Jay ends up saying I quit. Roman, ends up winning the match. Of course, has the belt in his hands. At the end of the ramp is his dad and his uncle, who embrace him. which I thought was kind of odd. I didn't really know how to feel about it because I don't know if we're supposed to believe that the Usos are officially banned from the Iona family. I just thought it was kind of odd. Like, what did you think about it?
Well, the match was good. Like you said, they gave Jey Uso enough to make you believe that he possibly could beat Roman Reigns with a little bit of a fighter's chance. And then the storytelling with Roman Reigns, just pretending to break down and then, snap right back into being an asshole, on the drop of a dime. Like that was pretty cool to see. But the story was good, man. The story was good. The action was good. I tweeted out the other night as the match was happening, like, I am enjoying the natural shit talking between these two. And it was a great thing, man, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match, man, and with a good story, a good story intact, good storytelling by both of the wrestlers, and of course Jimmy Uso as well, and even Paul Heyman too. Like, I thought all of them did a good job in their performances. And as far as the Usos being banned, we all know that they're going to be doing his dirty work and shit like that. And then after a while, they'll start to like doing his dirty work, and they'll be one big happy family again. So I ain't going to harp on too much of that. So yeah, they'll be his reluctant henchmen for a while until they start to like it and go with the flow.
Yeah, that pretty much just seems how it's going to go. Like, Jay is going to. Jay's whole thing is, I don't want to be banned from the family. So what do I gotta do? What do I gotta do to get back in their good graces? So, and that that makes sense. That's it's storytelling 101. Like, he's gonna hate it at first, but then he's gonna grow to like it, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I have to do for my family. Yep. And I gotta do what I gotta do for Oos.
Yep.
So
Oosh.
Good storytelling. Supposedly they're going to continue it, which I kind of hope they don't, because it just.
Yeah, I kind of hope they don't. He just beat him not 3 times, but he beat him twice on pay-per-view already. So, like, there's no need to do this again. Like, they need to just move on already. Like, they really do. I know they have too many heel pieces as far as, like, main eventer. Like, I mean, I guess you could plug Owens in there.
Yeah.
And Bryan, but after Owens and Bryan, who do you really have for Roman to really go at?
Iggy.
I'm hoping they would save that for WrestleMania, but I don't know, because I eventually I want Big E to beat Roman Reigns for the belt at WrestleMania. I think I might have told you this last week, but I think WrestleMania, Big E, Roman, and Tampa. Like, you can imagine the story they can tell. Both me and you both started around the same time at FCW, man. And, I went on to be a big deal while you went on to be a big joke. Like, you could just tell that story, like, and people would kind of believe it a little bit. Assuming that, you're a dumb fan and forget the fact that Big E won the NXT championship and the fact that he won the Intercontinental title. But let's play ignorant and dumb like WWE likes to think we are sometimes. And just ignore that fact that Big E's never been a big time serious player or a champion, besides, the New Day stuff. And let's just roll with the flow that this is probably the first time in his career that he's going to be serious.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like that's kind of the road to Mania. The road to WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Like, maybe The Rock can be for next year, or maybe it can be for SummerSlam. I don't know. The
Rock, in my opinion, doesn't even need to happen. Doesn't need to happen. Like, I thought The Rock said he wanted to retire. Look, seeing The Rock and Roman Reigns, that'd be nice and all, but I don't think it's. I don't know, man. Like, I don't care to see that all that much. Like, it looks good on paper. Don't get me wrong, and the poster boards. I mean, that'd be great, but I don't know. I really don't have the desire to see it all that much. Even though it would be a nice match and it would be a great story to tell, but I don't know. I guess my mood would probably have to be changed towards it. But I mean, if it happens, it's fine. But I want Big E. I want Big E or a new superstar to step up to heel Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and possibly, take down the big evil tribal chief there. Not same old The Rock or same old, Seth Rollins or, Daniel Bryan or somebody like that. Somebody easy. That's easy and lazy in my opinion. Going back to the same old people that works and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, with Daniel Bryan, that'd be for interesting storytelling because you can easily do a career versus career match or a title versus career match. Because
he could.
A little piece of news: Daniel Bryan, admitted that he's probably done as a full-time, wrestler, and I believe Dave Meltzer, good old Uncle Dave, reported that Daniel Bryan has joined the creative team.
Yeah, that was like months ago. He was consulting and writing for SmackDown, which was you can kind of see that his fingerprints are on the show in certain ways. Between some of the guys, like all of a sudden getting pushes that would never get pushes or get certain title matches and stuff like that. Like you can definitely tell that his fingerprints and influences on the show. And then you also hear news that Edge was also writing for Raw or giving ideas, and I'm just like, where's Edge's ideas? I don't see any. I see Bryan's influence, but I don't see anything from Edge.
But what were we getting to? Yeah, we're still in the first match. Yeah, it really set the tone for the show. Again, I was surprised that it was the first match on the show. When you look at the overall show, it really should have been the main event. It just had better storytelling. But moving on to the next match, you had Elias versus Jeff Hardy in a singles match. 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Ends in disqualification after Hardy hits Elias with his guitar. It was what it was. I mean, it just wasn't bad, wasn't great. It was there. I guess they're continuing this feud between these two guys, which I guess is fine. I like both guys. I like Hardy. I'm a Jeff Hardy mark. I've always have been, still am. Elias, I like him as a personality. He can talk. He can talk. He seems like he's growing into his role a lot more. He seems like he's more comfortable out there. He's getting jacked. Like he's getting like Diesel jacked again. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, he's a big motherfucker, man. That's when he was having him get bitched out by Baron Corbin like a couple months ago. I'm like, dude, like his whole entire right arm is bigger than Baron Corbin's neck. Like, what the fuck? Got this guy counting away from Baron Corbin, rolling him up in matches. Like, what the hell? Like, I thought that made him look weak more than anything. That dude is huge. He's a big man.
He's a big motherfucker out there wearing skinny jeans and like, what is it, tank tops that have flowers. So
yeah.
So I mean, I guess you can't expect him to go out there and like what is it, wear tights and have tattoos and scream a lot. So this works for him. So
yeah.
But yeah, the match was what it was. What were your overall thoughts?
Honestly, I went to the bathroom. So that's all I have to say about that.
All right, moving on. Next match is Miz with John Morrison versus Otis with Tucker. A singles match for Otis's Money in the Bank contract. The stipulation was made during Wrestler's Court on Monday, Monday Night Raw. And the match was 7 minutes, 25 seconds. The match... Go ahead. Go ahead and give your thoughts.
Do we even have to talk about this? Like, seriously. Like, Otis and Miz, like, I'm done with it all. Honestly, Otis, he never should have got the briefcase to begin with. Mm-hmm. I think we all agree on that. We all like Otis, right? Because, he's the big guy that shakes his belly around and says, oh, yeah! Like, we all like that shit, right? But he should have never won that briefcase.
No.
Like my little brother said, mid-card, yeah, that's fine. But world title, no. No. And Miz, what is this, 2010 all over again? Miz is Mr. Money in Bank. Randy Orton is WWE champion. Like, come on. I don't know, man.
Well, you just spoiled the whole show, RJ. God.
Oh, man, like it's just like that kind of shit. Just kind of I don't know, man. It threw me off, man. I didn't like. I don't care about any of this either, man. I just don't, man. I care less that the Miz has the contract. I thought Morrison should have got it, but like, yeah. And then Tucker turning on Otis. Woo! Who didn't see that coming? Like, I ain't gonna lie, give WWE credit. They had me kind of fooled there a little bit, you know, when they had, Tucker going to Raw and Otis going to SmackDown, but I give them credit. They tried to swerve me a little bit, but we all knew it was coming, and because, I mean, obviously they see more value in Otis, you know, and rightfully so. They could, I think so. I think Vince finds them funny, and he's gonna push him. Y'all think Tucker Knight getting a singles push? Maybe for a couple of weeks. But hold on though. Here's a reason why I say that. Has anybody? When was the last time we seen Mojo Rawley? Anybody? Anybody tell me when was the last time you saw Mojo Rawley on TV? That's all the evidence you need right there. Y'all think Tucker Knight is about to get a push? Ooh. Another big generic fucking big guy.
There's no chance in hell he's gonna get a push. Like the way I see it, it's gonna be big Cass all over again. He's gonna get what looks like a push, but it's really just a way to get. It's really just a way to send him out. Like Tucker just again has nothing to offer. He looks generic. He's a nice athlete. He's a nice athlete, but yeah, like you said, generic, long, black hair. He's got to wet that shit if he wants to get on Vince's good side. I mean, I hope he knows that, but yeah, he's nothing. Like, Otis has always been a star of that team, obviously, for, absurd reasons, but like, there's nothing there, dude. Like, there's nothing there. You can't have fun with him. Like, I'd be pressed to see a Tucker Knight fan. Like somebody tell me that they're seriously a Tucker Knight fan, and I would gladly shake your hand. But I can't. I don't see one. It's always been about Otis from day one. So, Otis is a good character, and Vince is known to like characters.
Exactly.
COVID, we said COVID kind of ruined your McIntyre's run. In a way, it kind of ruined Otis's, because when Otis was starting to really get some steam with his character, with Mandy Rose and them, that's when COVID happened. I think if there were still house shows, it could have really benefited Otis. Like, it really could have got him over. Really could have got his character over. It might have even helped him improve his matches. But the Otis thing, him winning the Money in the Bank briefcase was a mistake. He shouldn't have won it. He should not have won it at all. And it almost seemed like as soon as they gave it to him, it almost seemed like they forgot he even had it, because as soon as he won, it's like, okay, you won it. Now what are we going to do with him? And it became almost like a prop to him, and yeah, the briefcase is a prop, technically, but he almost treated it like a joke, because it's like, hey, I'll put my lunch in here. I have pictures of Mandy in here. It didn't really seem like it meant much to him. So they made the right decision getting the briefcase off of him. I just wish it would have been Morrison, because Morrison is the star of the group. Morrison is someone that needs to be made look like a star. When the draft happened, they really should have split up Morrison and Miz.
They should have.
But and I don't hate the Miz. I like the Miz, but it's just like,
yeah, he's another one of those guys. I could take him and leave him at this point. It's been the same song and dance. He can cut a good promo, yay, but what else can you do? What else can you do? Like I said, it's 2010 all over again, man. And sure, yeah, he's improved somewhat since then, but it's the same song and dance, bro. Like, I don't care to see this.
Yeah, I mean, just eventually he's gonna cash it in. It just, that's.
I think he's gonna shit the bed. I don't think he's gonna have a successful cash in, and yet it's gonna be another waste of a money bank.
Yeah, overall, my thoughts on that is just like,
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. So, Sasha Banks defeating Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
All right.
Hell in a Cell match. 26 minutes, 35 minutes. Match of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, mine too.
These two just, going back to, the Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley match, they're both friends. They know how to work with each other. They know how to make the match mean something. These two just beat the air living piss out of each other. And fucking... what else can I say? It's just these two just really went out there and just tore the house down. They just... You were... If you were a casual wrestling fan, you would have believed it, because you can put two other girls in the match and it wouldn't look right. These two girls were able to make it work. Not just because they're good, not just because they're great, but because overall, again, it's the factor of they actually know each other, and the fact that they're great wrestlers makes it work.
And they trust each other too.
They trust each other too. My only complaint, I have complaints. Even if something's perfect, I have to have a complaint.
Yeah, because why not?
There should have been repercussions. There should have been, Bayley should have bruises. She should have had a little bit of blood coming out on the side of her head. Sasha should have had some welts and bruises. But
something to show that they've been in a war.
I'm not expecting Bayley to have a crimson mask. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be pretty dope, but it just have some blood, blood, a little bit of blood, a little inkling of blood. Come on, you know what I mean?
At least something coming out of one of their noses or something.
I don't like in DBZ when Vegeta and Goku fought, they had fucking welts and bruises and blood. Have it look like that. Why can't it? Why? I don't get why WWE is just they have some blood, please. Make this shit look cool. The match was already good. Make it even better.
Yeah.
And Sasha winning, I was kind of not too pleased about it, because I'm a Bayley fan. I'll just put it out there. I like Bayley. Sasha has improved. As far as her character, as far as her acting, as far as her promos go, she's improved. I'm already waiting for Sasha to lose the belt next month. I mean, not to sound like an asshole, but and I'm an asshole, I'm just going to admit it. But just, how many times have we seen this with Sasha? She wins a belt, and then she ends up dropping
six times, to be precise.
Yeah, she ends up dropping it 5 minutes later? It's just, I don't know if they're planning on keeping it on her, for the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Which, given her track record, I doubt that'll happen. But
she's not defending that championship anytime soon. And given that the next pay-per-view Survivor Series, there's a good chance she won't be dropping it there. So she'll if things stay the same and she doesn't have a title match between now and then, I guess it's safe to say that she'll at least have the belt for a month.
Yeah, she'll more than likely. She might. I'm just going to call it right there. She might drop it in December at, I guess, TLC, which that's the way it's going to look. That's what it usually is. But I wanted Bayley to win, but Sasha wins. Overall, the match was fine. Only complaints I had were no blood and no bruises and Sasha. That's about it.
I just thought it was a good story, from the attire to the physicality of the match, and just that I thought it was really good. And like I said earlier, to good friends, they want to change the perception of women's wrestling. What better way to do that with your best friend and go out there and kick some ass together? And I thought the match was really good. And and you're right. It didn't really look like they were in a war by the time it was said and done. They had no, like you said, no bruises, no whelps, no cuts, anything like that. So I mean that's a fair complaint, but I don't know. WWE has to think about some of these things sometimes. It's like the Roman Reigns thing when we used to wear the vest and the guys used to fucking beat the shit out of him with chairs and whatnot. I'm like, what do you take the fucking vest off? Like, you're not really hurting him. He's got a fucking Kevlar vest on. Like, what are you doing? Like, take the fucking vest off, beat the shit out of him with the chair, and if Roman Reigns doesn't want to expose his man boobs, then he can quickly put it back on like after the match is over with. Like, shit.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just, WWE will do shit like that. But, there kind of has to be a rematch. If I'm a betting man, I would
there'll be a rematch.
I would, a rematch, but more than likely at TLC, I think we're getting a TLC match between these two.
Yeah, I just hope the guy Sasha don't get hurt.
Oh, she will.
And all you Sasha stands, y'all better be praying together in a line. Y'all better have a prayer circle that she don't get hurt, because we all know Sasha Banks. You know, as much as people love her, and I love her too, but Lord knows that girl can't stay healthy. And I mean, you know, when you're small like she is, it's very easy to get injured. So her and Alexa, they like I said the other night, sometimes you just cringe watching them take certain bumps and whatnot, and you're just like, damn, is that the one that's gonna put them out of action for like a month or two? And you know, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what happens next.
Yeah, more than likely it'll be a TLC rematch with Bayley getting the title back. I'm just gonna call her there. Bayley's gonna get it back in December.
Would you be willing to bet your house on that?
I would bet the house. I would bet the dog. I would bet the cat. I would bet my soul on that. You hear me, Satan? You hear me, Satan? Come from my soul. It's like, oh wait, I already sold that one. So anyways, he's
all right. Now, if she wins, now you have to dye your hair blue.
I got to, but I have to dye my hair blue. Why not autumn? Why can't I dye autumn or magenta?
Oh, yeah. Either way, you gotta go around and say that Sasha Banks is the best and this, that, and the other. Good Lord, that's bad. That's bad. I don't think I would wish that on my worst enemy, honestly. But and I do love Sasha Banks and stuff like that. It's, you know, I like to make fun of her hardcore stance, so to speak. You know, I hate that fucking term, by the way. But yeah, it's more. I just like to pick with them sometimes. So I like seeing them cry and whine on Twitter.
Yeah, because we love Sasha. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Sasha doesn't give a shit about you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Sasha hates everybody, even her own fans.
Good Lord. Oh my God.
Okay, before we get into the next two matches, what's her whole thing about the whole, I guess we can call it a feud with her and Booker T?
Booker T? Well, apparently Booker T's problem is that he don't like Sasha Banks' attitude. Now, even when I used to go to the tapings at NXT, I never got a chance to actually meet Sasha Banks. I've seen her, of course, in person, but wrestling in the ring, but I've never seen her like outside of the ring. I never got a chance to meet her one-on-one, so I've never got a chance to really see what her demeanor is like in person. So I don't know whether she has a bad attitude or not, but Booker T, man, good Lord. Booker T doesn't like her. He don't like Naomi. It just seemed like Booker T don't like his own kind, man.
What do you say about Naomi? I don't think he ever say anything like bad about her, but what do you say about her?
No, it wasn't her attitude. I think it was when people was like Naomi deserves better and stuff like that. Which, I mean,
nah,
Naomi. I like Naomi and everything, right? Like, so, like I would say that she deserves better, because the thing about Naomi is that, and I give her a chance because, she's not awful in the ring. She's charismatic to a point, but like sometimes it doesn't feel like she talks with confidence sometimes. And you can tell she's not really confident in that department. So that kind of throws me off a little bit. And like I said, I could be a fan of somebody and admit where they don't hit. And she doesn't seem very confident. Her vocal abilities are just in how can I put it? when it comes to her verbiage, like she doesn't seem very confident.
Yeah, I mean,
same thing. I would compare that. I would compare her to Natty in that sense, where Natty is just she's painful to listen to. Like I can't listen to her at all. She's a great wrestler, but every time that whenever time that music hits, like I'm just like, okay. Oh, like Kevin Castle, I gotta go walk the dog, and I don't even have a dog. Like I'm gonna go smoke, and I don't smoke, so like it's that kind of thing there. Like I just have no interest whatsoever. And you can apply kind of that same thing to Naomi, but the difference is I kind of do like Naomi in the ring and stuff like that, and I want to root for her because she's likable. But I can kind of see where I can get the criticism of her.
Yeah, because Naomi, the whole give Naomi a chance thing. It's like she was already a 2-time women's champion, and didn't she like technically headline WrestleMania one year? So it's just
won the belt in her hometown.
Yeah, it's just she already had a chance, and she didn't really do much with it. Again, she's passable in the ring, and she's a very likable person. But it's just like, why do we need to give everybody a chance? It's just give people give people a chance that actually have something to offer. It's just like, oh, she's a nice person. It's like, yeah, so is everybody else. So does it mean we got to give?
My neighbor's a nice person.
It's like my mom's a nice person, but I don't want to see her in a wrestling ring. I don't want to see her take bumps. But yeah. Anyways,
I could get it from both sides, definitely.
So, I guess at this point it is what it is. But
yeah.
Next match, Bobby Lashley versus Slapjack for the United States Championship. If it's all the same to you, can we just skip this?
Yeah. I love Shane Thorne, but yeah, you just skip this.
Match was tree fitted.
It was a fucking waste. That's what it was. It's 3 minutes I could never get back. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was just probably shouldn't have happened at all. Anyways, main event. Randy Orton going up against Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship in a Hell in a Cell. Match was 30 minutes and 35 seconds, the longest match of the night.
Oh, it went too long. It went forever.
It
felt like it wouldn't end, man. People were like, the match is great. What are you talking about? Oh, so y'all want to watch that again? It felt slow, draggy. Like I don't know. I wasn't really into it all that much. And then, if I'm being quite honest with you, I was almost on Dream Street. Like I was getting ready to go to bed.
So this whole feud with these three, it just I'm a Drew supporter, but I just gotta ask this: like the feud between these three, do you think it was Randy or Drew that was just not really clicking?
Randy Orton, in my opinion, works better with somebody that's bigger than him or somebody that's smaller than him. Drew McIntyre, I guess you could put in that same category as well. He works better with guys that are particularly smaller than him. So I think that was a thing as far as like in-ring work as well. And it's just that Randy Orton is slow and plotting, man. Like he doesn't really excite anybody except for when he does his, he hits his power slams and the draping DDT and then the fucking RKO, and that's it. Like, besides that, Randy doesn't do anything that makes you go, oh, damn, like, ooh. Like, I get a replay for that? Like, he doesn't really do it. Drew, I like Drew's matches. Like, I liked every match he's had on pay-per-view. Like, and even their SummerSlam match. Like, I liked their SummerSlam match a whole lot because it was a nice match, and it was a match that didn't have it wasn't a finisher fest, And matter of fact, neither guy had a finisher in that match, by the way. And so I don't know, man. It's just that Sunday it didn't click for me.
Yeah, it's just, and it's sad because you look at the last event, which was at Clash of Champions. They literally brought out Shawn Michaels, Christian, and the Big Show, and Ric Flair to help Drew McIntyre beat Randy, and then Randy ends up losing the title at the next event. It's 2020 and Randy Orton's the champion. Like,
yep.
And this as soon as he won it, my fears and my worries already set in. I'm like, they're gonna do
Edge.
Edge. Ugh. They're gonna give Edge the title at Mania. It's like you guys
Yeah, I mean, it's
like,
a nice story and all, but like, it's just no. Like, come on, WrestleMania at this point should be to elevate some of the younger guys, man. Like, why Edge doesn't need to win the world title in the main event of WrestleMania? He just doesn't. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I like Edge, and I'm glad that he can wrestle again. But I don't need to see him in the main event of WrestleMania winning the world title. I just don't.
It's like there are so many other guys you could have put in that spot.
Exactly, that's my point.
Against Orton, you could have Orton or Drew McIntyre. You could have put Keith Lee in that spot. You could have put, Karrion Kross and just throwing out a random name. You could have put anyone else. But it's 2020, and the possible main event in WrestleMania is going to be Randy Orton versus Edge for the world title.
Yeah, that's an automatic no thank you there.
And more than likely, they're going to put the title on Edge, so that way they can tell their story of, and it's a good. And here's the thing: it's a good story. If you wanted to have the match, whatever, fine, whatever. It's Mania. You need a big match, but it's like, why does it need a title?
I don't need a title.
It's like
but I guess they're thinking that the next big step in that feud is going to be for the title, because they already had the matches. They had the greatest wrestling match ever, and then they had that NyQuil of a match at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? That should be a recipe for NyQuil. I agree with Tommaso Ciampa about that. And it's just, oh man, I'm done with the feud. Like once Randy beat Edge at the last pay-per-view that they had that match on, like I was finished. I don't need to see this again. Why do we need to see it again?
Well, because Edge got hurt. I think the original idea was if Edge didn't get hurt, they were supposed to have a Hell in a Cell match. And I don't know.
Good Lord. God help us all. God saved us. He saved us, everybody.
God saved us, and now God saved us, and now he's going to punish us.
He giveth and he taketh.
He giveth and he taketh away. But
no, about Randy Orton's bad collar. Is there any chance that Karrion Kross can kind of debut sometime soon? Maybe hit Randy Orton with a Doomsday Saito, and I don't know, maybe pop the collar a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Collarbone a little bit, have Randy Orton sit out for, at least for the first 5 months of next year. Ain't got to be that long,
And also, this just hit me. Isn't Randy Orton a part-timer?
Yeah, Randy Orton's a part-timer.
And then Edge is a part-timer. So the main event of your show is going to be 2 part-timers.
Yeah, but Randy Orton, I think, is the only reason why he's really putting in a lot of time into this is because they're actually giving him what he wants, and he wants to be a heel, and they're giving him content that he can kind of sink his teeth into. So, and that's one of the biggest criticisms about, or one of the biggest things that people have always said about Randy Orton, including myself, is that when Randy Orton really tries, there's nobody better. And you can just tell whenever he just doesn't, and the work it doesn't hit at all. And it's not the same. So, I don't know. I'm just, like I said, no interest whatsoever for me as far as that's concerned. I wouldn't mind Randy Orton working with a younger babyface and helping that guy get over by putting him over and creating a new star, but...
Yeah, the whole joke about Orton is that he phones it in. What if one of these days he literally calls in? He just, hey, Vince, it's me. Where are you? Yeah, I'm not feeling well. I'm just gonna stay at home. Well, you're in the main event of the show. Yeah, I just don't feel like it. But
you don't feel like it right now.
You're advertised. We've been playing this for weeks. Yeah, you can put somebody else in. I just don't give 2 shits. But
yeah, I just want to stay at home and.
I just want to bang my hot wife. Just.
Yeah, I want to put my hand over her breast and take more Instagram pictures in that position.
Hello? Randy? Hello? Damn it. Paul! We need you to wrestle tonight. Ugh.
I don't feel like it. I just had to put on a 3-hour show at NXT.
Ugh. I just had to do a YouTube video with Stephanie about Republicans.
Tommaso Ciampa main event. It's gonna be great.
Hey, Tucker. WrestleMania 2028, it's got your name on it.
I promise you, pal. It really does.
Oh, man.
Oh, good lord!
This is what this show does to us. We do bad Triple H impressions. Drew Yari, we need
RJ.
We need you tonight.
So we're gonna have you come in and put over Pat McAfee in a squash. Oh, good lord!
What does the show even become? Anyways, all right. So highlights and lowlights of the show.
Well, the two earlier cell matches, Roman and Jay and Sasha and Bailey were definitely the highlights, and the lowlights. The main event, I just didn't enjoy it, and then all the other filler, I didn't enjoy none of that either. If this pay-per-view was just Roman and Jay and Sasha and Bailey, like this probably would have been the best pay-per-view ever, man. Because both of those matches are so fucking good with good stories and everything like that, and a bunch of different aspects than just one. And then they just had to put the bullshit in the middle that nobody gave a shit about. And like it just kind of, but and to give the show a score,
Yeah, fuck it.
I would say an 8 because of those two Hell in a Cell matches. Just because of that alone, because I enjoy those matches too much, and to give it a low score would discredit those matches, and I don't want to do that whatsoever. So yeah, an 8 out of 10 for me.
Same score. Highlights Bailey and Sasha. If they, like I mentioned earlier, if they had just add it didn't even have to be like. Well, I mean, you can't. I guess you can't do makeup bruises in the ring, but like, if they had just added like the implications that these two actually just went to war, it would have been that much better. That was the match of the night for me. Roman and Jay. Great storytelling. I think I like the storytelling a lot better than the actual match.
Yeah.
Roman, I think, has become more of is a better storyteller than a wrestler. And that's not really an insult to him.
No, it's not. It's not. Because he's passable in the ring. Like I don't find him bad at all in the ring, actually.
He's not terrible in the ring, but he's, when you look at it, it's like almost above average. But overall, he's a better character. At this point, he's a better character and a better storyteller in the ring. And I kind of hope that there isn't another match between these two. Like you mentioned earlier, I hope it becomes a thing of Jay and Jimmy begrudgingly, align with Roman, so that way they can keep the family intact, and then eventually they just end up liking it. Lowlights for me, the main event just didn't do it for me, and I love Drew. I'm a big fan of Drew.
Yeah, same here.
I've supported his title run. I always thought he had the better matches on the card. This wasn't really one of them. It's 2020 and Randy Orton's the WWE champion, which I don't get why.
And for the most part, I've enjoyed Randy Orton's heel work, but it's just like I don't know, man. He's a guy that I enjoy some of the stuff he does outside of the ring than in the ring. If you get what I'm saying,
I get you. And also, the Miz and Otis thing. I'm glad they got it off of Otis, but it's just. At the end of the day, Anthony Missionary Thomas from Wrestling Soup, he made a good point. This match kind of ruined three guys' career. It kind of messed with The Miz and messed with Otis and messed with Tucker because as much as I like The Miz, he didn't really need this Money in the Bank. They really should have given it to Morrison.
Yes.
Otis and Tucker. At the end of the day, Tucker more than likely is going to be gone after this. Otis, this kind of ruins his career because they've really taken away a lot from him that really made him him. Like Mandy's on SmackDown. Otis is going to SmackDown. He's not the Money in the Bank winner anymore. So, what else can you really do with him? I mean, he can continue being a good mid card act, to bring the kiddies in. Eventually, whenever we do have fans in the arena, but he's a good mid card act, that the kids can enjoy. They can buy his merch. Other than that, it doesn't really do much for me. So, overall, the show was enjoyable. I guess another criticism I'll make is that I kind of wish the matches weren't as long as they should have been. Because the Roman match, was it 26 minutes, 29 minutes? But it felt like it went on a lot longer than that. The main event,
when it came, especially when it came down to like the Usos coming in the ring, or the other Uso brother coming in the ring, and they were doing a lot of talking and stuff like that. Yeah, it kind of felt like it went on a little bit, but I definitely get your point.
The main event really should have been 7-8 minutes shorter.
Yeah, a whole lot more shorter than what it was. It just felt like it dragged. It wouldn't end. At least when the Usos and Roman Reigns were in the ring doing that whole bit, like at least it was entertaining and shit like that, and you were hanging on to what they were saying. But Randy and Drew there, I was just like, oof. I don't know, man. Like I was kind of ready. Like I said, I was ready to go. I was ready to go to sleep at that point.
Yeah, I guess with Drew, he's still going to be treated like a top guy. I don't know if he'll ever win the title again. He'll
get it again.
Well, my guess before we wrap it up is eventually, whenever crowds are allowed back into the arenas, they're going to want to test something out with Drew. They're going to want to see how him chasing the title is going to work with the crowd because before COVID happened, he was actually starting to work. Like he was actually starting to get over with the crowd. The crowd was really starting to get into Drew, and they gave him the title, and he was the champion during a really dark time in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the crowds coming back, let's see how they react to Drew chasing the title. So, anyways, that's pretty much the show right there. Go ahead and plug your stuff, man.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at LowRJ Unlimited. And I have a show as well called RJ and the Savage Squad Show. It's pretty much me getting on and talking with various guests and pretty much in a roundabout way letting the guests kind of control the narrative of the show and stuff like that and sit and conversate and talk about any and everything. And if anybody's ever interested, just inbox me and let me know, and we'll set up a date and work out times and everything like that. And we definitely can make it happen. And also do reviews of various shows like NXT UK. I did a first review of that this past Thursday after I got off with you, Drew. And when MLW comes back, I'm definitely going to do reviews for MLW Fusion. It's one of my favorite wrestling programs to watch on TV, and it's been missed, and I can't wait till it comes back on so I can go ahead and review that and tap into that fan base and hopefully get that demographic there.
Yeah, be the demo god.
Yeah.
Demo god RJ.
That's right. Not COVID god. I got COVID in my lungs.
I'm becoming. Anyways, man. Anyways, I really appreciate you for joining me for this the season premiere of the podcast.
The big season premiere.
The big season premiere. Let's wait for those ratings to come out.
All right.
But yeah, I really do appreciate you for coming on the show, Marin. And taking time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah, no problem, man. And like I said, anytime, just let me know, man. we'll make it happen. You know, I don't mind at all, man.
Absolutely. If you want me back on your show, fucking shit up, just hit me up. You know where to find me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we might talk about that sometime soon as well as some of these games get ready to come out next month and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that would definitely be in the works, man.
Yeah, it's just work. And again, just hit me up on Twitter. We'll work something out.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how business is done in the podcasting world. Boom.
With two superstars.
Exactly. But like I said, it's always a pleasure, and thank you for even just considering me to be on the season premiere, man. That's a big honor, so I definitely appreciate that, man.
Absolutely, brother. Take care.
You do the same, man, and peace to the chat, and much love to you guys.
All right, so that's the end of the show. That's the season premiere. We went a little bit over 2 hours, but I'm pretty sure if I cut some time off, it will even it to 2 hours even. But anyways, I appreciate you. I appreciate the chat for showing up. I like to give an apology to Antox for not talking about AEW, but again, I'm not talking about AEW on the show. I'm not reviewing it. I can't. I mean, if something comes up that catches my attention, I'll talk about it, but I'm just not going to review the show anymore. Maurice, Sean, Seth, everybody else that showed up, appreciate it. Shout outs to everybody. Shout out to Wrestling Soup. Shout out to John Draper. Check out his podcast with B. Show Brian and Shaheen. Break the Apocalypse, which you can find on Spreaker and Patreon. B. Show Brian also has a horror podcast. He also has a Wrestling Reanimated and Horror Reanimated. You can also find his horror podcast on YouTube. And Shaheen, he has the Garden of Doom with a good friend of the show, Jeff Lippman. Good friend of the show, good friend of mine, Jeff Lippman. Garden of Doom, which you can find on Spreaker. Shaheen also does Nuclear Graphics, where she does a lot of artwork, logo designs, whatnot. He already made three. He's done 3 artworks for me for the show. So he's very good at what he does. So hit him up. Yuck Nasty from Get in the Corner. Hopefully by next week, I'll be debuting the new theme for the show. Yuck Nasty's been in the studio. So hopefully it's by next week. I was trying to have it by this week, but hopefully it's next week. So check out Get in the Corner with Yuck Nasty and Dogger Baby. Check out Fall Scott Radio with Andrew Carlick. Check out Wrestling Court. I believe they just had a new episode out. Check out RJ's show. Check out RJ and the Savage Squad. Savage Squad on Spotify and Anchor. And Relly H with Demented and Unusual. The Texas Podcast Massacre. Check them out. They're good people. If you're a horror fan, you'll love this podcast. Trez. Shout out to Trez. And that's really about it. So, again, season premiere. I'll be back next week, same time, same channel. And that is it. Peace out, people. I will edit and upload this show ASAP.